Hello, Earthlings! Oodles here. What if Paul McCartney never famously clashed with Yoko Ono? What if he was never knighted? What if he never made a surprise appearance in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, even though we maybe could go without that last bit? Well, there's a possibility he actually didn't do any of the things I've just listed. Now, I know what you're saying, and I assure you, this isn't a the moon landing was a hoax and the footage was directed by Stanley Kubrick kind of theory. Someone did do the things I mentioned before, along with years' worth of other things. The question is, was it really Paul McCartney? The point I'm getting to is many people believe that Sir Paul McCartney died as the result of a car crash in 1968 during his time being a Beatle. He was promptly replaced so as to not draw any negative publicity towards the band. The people who subscribe to this theory believe that Paul was replaced by the winner of a look-alike contest held by the band's management. The winner of said contest was a man by the name of Billy Shears. He was dubbed the name Fall by the people who believe in the theory, mixing together the words false and Paul McCartney's actual name. Unlike the popular Avril Lavigne conspiracy, this is a very old conspiracy, and people believe there's a lot of evidence to back it up. Even though I suppose I use the word evidence very lightly in this case, as none of it is actual conclusive evidence. So let's look into some of this evidence. I think the best place to start is in the songs, because that's really prominent in the theory. So, I'm going to go album at a time, and I'm going to start with Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So, I'm also going to go song by song. So, in the song With a Little Help from My Friends, they intronounce Billy Shears. So, a lot of people have debated that, but that would go with the name of the man said to replace Paul. So, in the song She's Leaving Home, they talk about Wednesday morning at 5 o'clock. In the theory, it says that Paul McCartney's car crash takes place on a Wednesday at 5 o'clock in the morning. So, maybe that's a theory, maybe it's not. Looking through more of them, the song A Day in the Life is really prominent in this theory. There's a lot of references, most notably, he blew his mind out in a car, he didn't notice that the lights had changed. So, I'm going to skip a lot of them that seem like a stretch, even though you could say most of these seem like a stretch. So, moving on to the Magical Mystery Tour, and the song Strawberry Fields Forever, which is one of my all-time favorite Beatles songs. It sounds like John is saying, I buried Paul. So, John claimed that he was saying cranberry sauce, which, weirdly enough, would make more sense to me. So, now moving on to While My Guitar Gently Weeps, from the White Album. In gibberish at the end, people believe it says, Paul, Paul, Paul. But, I mean, I've listened to it over and over again, and I don't really think it's anything conclusive. It just sounds like somebody vocalizing in the background. Moving on to more pieces of evidence in this theory. Abbey Road, which is a really prominent album, but it's also a really prominent... There's a lot of evidence for this theory, and the main one is the album cover itself, because it's supposed to portray a funeral, according to the theorists, and Paul is wearing what looks like a mourning suit, like a suit you would bury someone in, and he's barefoot. So, I'm sure there was a reason, the day of, why he was actually barefoot, but hey man, now it's more evidence. So, moving on to the songs of Abbey Road, and Come Together, there is a line that goes 1 and 1 and 1 is 3, which people believe is referring to there only being 3 remaining Beatles. So I think that one might be a bit of a stretch. And Let It Be, apparently the phrase Let It Be played backwards becomes He Is Dead. I've never heard that one before, and so I've never played it backwards, but, you know, who knows? So, that's really all in terms of songs, except in the song Glass Onion, they say that the walrus was Paul, and apparently in India, that's a sign of death, but I think they fact-checked that since, and it's not true at all. So I could go on and on about this theory for days, but I don't think anybody wants to watch a video that's 48 hours long. So I'm just going to cut it down a little bit and give you some quick facts. So this theory itself kind of springs from a few articles that were published by college students in 1969, claiming that they had found clues of Paul McCartney's deaths and tons of recordings and photo shoots and things like that. So it really comes from college students in 1969. But people have really kept this theory alive. There's a bunch of YouTube documentaries, and there's even a film itself called Paul McCartney is Dead, which was on Netflix at one time. I'm not going to say if I agree with this conspiracy theory, but I'm not going to say that I disagree with it either. But I will say that the best part about the entire theory is that it's been mocked by all of the Beatles. So back in the day when it first started, the Beatles began to put things in their records that, might lead to more conspiracy theories. So Paul McCartney has actually been asked about the theory. And obviously, as you'd expect him to say, he said that he's very much alive and well. And in the 90s, he did a tour or an album, I can't quite remember, called Paul is Live. So that's kind of mocking the theory itself. But anyway, regardless of if Paul McCartney is alive or not, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'd be very interested to hear what you guys think about Paul McCartney down below. So, keep it nice. If the Beatles aren't your type of music, then that's fine. But let me know if you think he's alive, because that's what we're really here for today. So if you liked the video, give it a like, a comment, maybe subscribe to see more content. We have creepy content, we have theater content, we have cooking, we have Let's Plays. We have a little bit for everyone who watches YouTube, I'm sure. So thanks for that. And if you want to see us on other platforms, you can. It's your lucky day, because we have our link to our Twitter, our Twitch, our Discord, and our Periscope in the description box, as well as a bunch of sources for this video. So thank you so much for watching. See ya! Whoop! Fact check, police. It's come to my attention that in the beginning of this video I said that Paul McCartney died in 1968, but the theory actually states that he died in 1966. So my bad. Don't want to mislead anyone there.